Hello everybody and welcome to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at No Creek Farms. This map can be found over at Facebook. There will be a link to the Facebook site in the description below. When you download the zip file, you will find that there is several files within the zip file that you need to extract. Basically there will be 3 or 4 text files that relate to some information about the map. One is a text file called Very Important Information. That gives you a little background about the map itself and maybe how to play it. Then there is a file related to row crop or crop spacing and prices. So this map has been modified a little bit with respect to how far apart the soybeans will appear on the fields to better reflect how they plant soybeans in the area in real life. But if you find that you don't like that, there's information on how to correct that and take it back to the default. In the zip file, there is a map and mods folder. Within this folder, you will find the map itself, No Creek Farms. You'll also find a geo, US No Creek Farms geo for seasons players. You'll find a mod that lowers the cow prices for the map, and you'll find a chop straw mod. The lower cow prices is to better reflect more accurate cow prices in the area. And the No Creek Geo has been specifically crafted to reflect the temperatures around and the weather around this particular area of the country. Within that maps and mods folder, you'll also find an augers folder. In that folder, you'll find 5 different augers. You won't need all of them, but you will need some of them in order to put grain into and out of the grain bins. So let's go ahead and take a look at the mods that are included with the map. So obviously the DLCs are not part of that, nor is the Jeep or the Gator. Those are kind of standard first impression products. So we're going to pick the Jeep this time around. And then you have the Batco grain belt, the Brant auger, Chop Straw, which comes with the download, the Farm King auger, lower cow prices. Seasons is not with the download, but you should really play with Seasons. The Sanduk auger, the Westfield auger. Then you have the Seasons Geo for No Creek Farms, and then you have the map itself. Version 1.3.0.0 is the current release of this map that you can find over at the Facebook site. Should you pull this map off of any other site, I would encourage you to not use it and instead go to the Facebook page and download the map from the proper source. That way you can be assured that you're getting not only the latest version, but then if you have problems, you can get support from the modder himself. Let's go ahead and load up the map. And while that's loading, we're going to, I guess I had seasons selected, so we'll go ahead and run seasons. There you go. So it loads up very quick. No errors. Just prompt yes that. And here we are. So let's go ahead and change seasons to more appropriate temperature for the area. Now we can see that first day of spring, we are at 45 degrees, 43-degree ground temperature. See what the temperatures are looking like and the rain indication. While we're waiting for the sun to come up, let me read you a little bit of the important information text file. So it's about No Creek Farms. No Creek Farms is a realistic recreation of my family farm. The farm itself, the portion the map shows, is about 400 acres. All the fields that my family owns are already owned by you. So let's go ahead and pull that up. Neighboring fields can be purchased. No Creek, the actual name of the creek, runs north to south through the western half of the map. So that would be over here somewhere. We'll find that at some point. You can only cross it in 2 places. On my family farm, there is a low water crossing on the northwest corner of field 10. Right here, northwest, so that would be over here. This isn't overly wide, so headers will need to be pulled, and some equipment may not like the steep incline descent very much. On the south edge of the map, you can use a gravel road to get across. Unfortunately, sometime in the late 70s, early 80s, that bridge washed out and was never replaced by the county. There's a larger, more forgiving low water crossing next to the dilapidated bridge. The, the only fictional part of the map is the configuration of the buildings in order to accommodate game functions. I placed everything you need: seed, fertilizer, cows, grain, and milk sell point, as well as vehicle sell point and a bale sell point at T&R Soils and Service in the northeast corner of the map over here. I placed everything close together and in one spot up there in order to minimize the fictional portions of the map. About 98% of this map is exactly as it appears in real life with regards to terrain, fields, roads, fences, bodies of water, and etc. So I'll let you all go through the rest because this goes for quite a bit, and there's quite a bit of really good information in there. But what we can get at basically is this is a photorealistic map. It is as realistic as is probably humanly possible in respect to the real life area. So really there are kind of four map types that I have seen in Farm Sim. You have European maps, you have English maps, you have an American style maps, and then what I classify as American maps. This map falls under the classification of an American map in that it is as true to life as humanly possible, and that means that they are not large, flat, square fields. I mean, come on, that is about as boring and as unrealistic as you're going to get for probably, I would say, 80% of real life American farmland. So here we are. This is what we've got. See, there's not a single square field on the map. There are fields of various shapes and sizes, and it feels and looks exactly the way it does in real life. In fact, the PDA is a Google Earth image. So this map has a standard crop types. We also own, let's go ahead and look at that, fields 7, 8, 10, 11, 9, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, and 2. So we're going to do that numerically. We've done fields 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. 1 through 11. And then we have a total of 27 fields on the map. The rest of the map fields can be purchased. They may or may not have missions. Let's go ahead and just check one just to see. No mission available, and that is field 24, 6 hectares, $49,000. That is something else that is on this map is basically reduced field prices or reduced land prices to better reflect the real life price of land in the area. So I just checked that field on purpose because that was kind of the squarest field on the map. So I would assume that since that one does not have missions, probably the rest of them do not also. So let's take a look at the rest of the information screens here. So as you know that there is one sell point on the map, and as I alluded to earlier, the prices have been adjusted to reflect more real-world pricing. As you can see, wheat and barley is pretty low, as is soybeans. You're not getting a ton of money off of soybeans this map. And as such, land prices are low, but equipment prices are the same. So it's going to take you quite a long time to move up and advance as far as buying more equipment unless you cheat in money. See, since we do have seasons involved, there is no money price for hay, straw, or grass. There is no BGA on this map because a BGA is not realistic for this particular area of the country. This video is done on hard mode, and the prices may be lower than they are under normal and easy. So we start with a fairly small fleet of equipment. All of it is fairly low hours, and none of it is leased. Let's go ahead and take out a little bit of a loan. We're not going to need a large amount of loan because we only have one particular animal on this map, and that is cows. So you start with no cows, nothing in the various feed troughs or anything, but Chickens are not an option. Pigs are not an option, nor are sheep. So our 3 silos have a capacity of 2,240,000 liters. And the silos are limited to storing only, I believe it is wheat, corn, and soybeans. So you can plant any crop that you want. It's just you're not going to be able to store those crops at the main silos of the main farm. But you can purchase them and sell those crops all you want at the sell point. See, they do accept. This is that. See, the sell point does accept all of the standard crops with the exception of sugarcane, which is not a realistic crop for the area. But you can only store wheat or barley. I'm not sure which one it is. It's one of those two. Soybeans and corn at the main farm. Let's go ahead and look at the starting fleet. So we start with Massey Ferguson 5600, the 7700, and the Activa 7347 harvester. We have the corn header and grain header. We've got the Dolly AgriLiner tipper, cultivator, seeder. We have the fertilized spreader, and then we have our Lizard pickup truck. So a fairly standard set of starting equipment, not really big and not a whole bunch of it. Let's go ahead and let's pick something else. Piece up our Jeep, and let's take a look at the store. Jeep is the Jeep. It's a good question. Where are we at here? Oh. You know what? I think I know why we're way down here. Let's move something. Let's move something here. Out of the way. Set this and see what happens. There we are. It's kind of odd why we showed up way down there, but at any rate. So the reset point is right here, as you can see. And I believe this is also where the store things spawn when you buy them at the store. Let's take a look and walk around the main farm here. So something that I know from reading the Facebook page is that if you play this map with seasons, there is some Easter eggs that will pop up. Let's see. That. Slow down the clock. So I know one of the Easter eggs is when it snows, a snowman will appear somewhere up here by the house. That's pretty cool. It won't obviously show up until after it's snowed. But play with seasons, take a look around the house for a snowman after it snows. There's apparently several other Easter eggs on the map that relate to seasons that will only show up if you have seasons enabled. So start looking here at the main farm. Got a have a vehicle shed here. Store, we got all kinds of nice decoration and everything going on here. Similar to UMRV, you have to use these buttons to activate our doors. Raise this one up a little bit so we can get out. All right, so we should be able to get out now. We have a fuel point for our main farm. We have a shed for storage of equipment or bales, whatever you should so wish. It's our shed that we're in. We have another storage shed. And another storage shed. Here we have the 3 silos for the main farm. And here they are. They are marked. This one holds wheat, 710,000 liters of wheat. This one holds 710,000 liters of soybeans. And this one holds 820,000 liters of corn. So that one's a little bit bigger. So the way these work, and I'll show you F5, see that there are triggers at the top of each silo. You'll need a large auger to load the grain into each particular silo. Only corn will go into this silo, only soybeans will go into this silo, and only wheat will go into this silo. See, they are all connected together. You can draw grain out of any silo, this particular output, and you'll need to put in another little auger here, which will then get it out of there and into a tipper. So also on my how-to section, in the how-to playlist, I've got a video on basically how to use the augers to place grain into bins like this and to pull grain out of bins like this. Down here we have another shed, or kind of a barn slash shed. Additional storage. Be a great area to store the large equipment in. We have a silage bunker. It's not very tall. It's kind of small. See, we have the silage trigger, and we've got a cool drain pipe over here to the side to drain out the silage juices during the compaction and fermentation stage. That's a pretty cool detail. Up here we have our cow shed. Let's try to figure out where we're going to be buying our cows. Let's see here. Should be a delivery chute here somewhere. That. Here's the delivery chute. Let's see. There we go. So we can currently buy cows for $2,500. So let's go ahead and get us up a 6 cows. Got our liquid manure pit here. These gates do open. Say simply deco. Have our grass trough here. Have a water trough here. And inside the barn we should have our silage feed trough. Let's go ahead and check. Yep, we've got a trigger there. Suspect that's also maybe where the straw trigger is. Pretty neat about this is the cows will come up to the barn, this walkway that is fenced with barbed wire, and this is kind of where the cows will have their main pasture area. See that there's gates all over the place, but you're not going to have your cows walking through gates or anything like that. That's really nice. Let's go ahead and shut this gate up. So that's pretty much the main farm. There's not a lot going on there. It's pretty basic. We've got the house, we've got a couple sheds, got the grain bins, and we've got the cow area. Go ahead and get in the Jeep. And something else that's interesting about this map is that there are water planes in the fields. So unlike other maps where you basically have mud, just mud in random places, this map has an interesting water plane. I gotta be careful that looks like it's pretty deep. The one message. Driving too deep. Yep. So we don't have to worry about accidentally driving through the water here. But anyway, what I wanted to show you is right here, we've got kind of a drainage way. See, it's kind of naturally in the field. It's going to make working this field kind of difficult. You're going to have spots that are probably going to be missed with the cultivator and missed with the seeder. And then here we have this area. See, we kind of got a different brown texture here. And we've got kind of a standpipe to drain, and we've got water here. So what we're going to do is we can't really speed up time. We have to speed it up all the way through till tomorrow. We're not going to deal with that. But at any rate, what you're going to find in this field when it rains is the water plane here is going to raise up, and it could possibly get as high as where the grass and dirt is here. So you're going to have various areas in the field that have just got standing water, and as it rains, the water levels will go up. As you have time go by where it doesn't rain, the water levels will drop. This is field 4. This is one of the fields you own. Field 3. See, these fields are not flat by any stretch of the imagination. They've got dips, bumps, and that pretty major major dip in there. Here we got a fence. Let's see, does the fence have collision? It does. It does indeed have a collision, so you are not going to be driving through the fences on this map. That is for sure. Right. That's enough fun with that. Now let's get on to some important parts of the tour. Let's go ahead and drive out of the main driveway of the farm. Something else to note, be careful coming up over this here. Got interesting, here we've got some bales just lined up. These bales have collisions on them. They are not real bales, they are deco items. See, we do the little hand. Check out this area. This is kind of an interesting ravine, not really, just low point between two fields, probably a drainage way. Then we have here in the middle of this field the exact same thing going on. We have an embankment leading to a depression. Pretty interesting. Sign on. I wonder what this sign says. Okay, we got a Bible verse on the sign there. There's also another one of those in the in one of those sheds. All right. Let's go ahead and follow this road down so we can kind of find that river crossing. So anywhere that you don't have, I guess, what's weird about the PDA, at least it's a little weird in my opinion, is the photo area, the areas that are basically a photo. Okay, the area to my right is what appears to be basically grassy area with trees. So that is obviously not fields, but you can mow that grass once it grows. Right now we're running along the bottom edge of the map. And it looks like we're coming up to that washed out bridge that the author spoke about. Take a look at that. We have bridge that's been washed out in the 80s or 70s or 80s. Can't walk through that bridge. And then we've got, oh, I love that. Look at that. Got a tree here, kind of falling into the waterway. We are right on the edge of the map, so we got to fall off. Kind of got this road crossing here. Put in a culvert and kind of filled in some dirt around it so you can get around road. Get over here to this side of the map. Map is fairly basic from the standpoint that it doesn't have a town, doesn't have industry, doesn't have but one sell point. What's that? These back. So it only has one sell point all the way up in the other corner of the map. There's only 2 crossings of the river here, or the creek, no name creek. So you're going to have to either cross down here at the bottom or cross up there the northeast or northwest corner of field 10, as he mentioned in his text file. That way without having a tree problem. Coming up along the edge of the map, there you can see our farm off there in the distance. Way off in the distance you can see the sell point. So I really like maps that have really far view distances. It really gives you a sense of being able to of kind of being there. Gate here and a fence. Yeah, there. Drive through the field here just so that we can kind of look around. That is just beautiful farmland here. All right, gate. Skate up. Go ahead and double back around. See if we can find that other river crossing. Let's try to find this, follow this road here. I may be able to do that. Kind of driving through the wooded area here. Wooded on the PDA image. Oh my, are you serious? That is the crossing. Oh wow. Okay, so we've got a kind of a wooden bridge here, walk bridge, for you to walk up and over the waterway. And there is the only other way to get across the river. Oh wow. Creek, I should say. Take a look, closer look at that. That is narrow and fairly steep. Yeah, I can see trying to bring a harvester through here. You're gonna have to be real careful coming down here in real life to not get the harvester up on either side here and kind of risk getting it perched precariously. Come down here nice and slow, ease your way down in here. Hope that this is fairly firm. Then make your way up over this bank. You're not going to be coming down here with the grain header, the grain header on the front of the harvester. That's for sure. All right, so let's kind of get down in here in real life. See how it is. Didn't seem too terrible steep. Which way should we go? It's back towards the farm. Let's make our way up this way. So I really like this map. This is a pretty cool map. The mod author suggests trying to start the map with the starting equipment, and to try to play basically with small to medium equipment. Oh, look at that. We got what this thing is called, but it's, I don't know if it's basically for drainage or what, because we've got here the valley, a little bit of water. I suspect when it rains, this is going to fill up with water, and there's going to be water in this this whole low area of the field. Real life, this would probably be planted as a grass, or you'd probably just leave grass in here. So at any rate, the map author suggests trying to play with small equipment and medium equipment on this map, and basically work your way up from there as far as buying larger equipment. Be a little bit more sense of realism. Pond here, part of the field. To be a fence maybe there. Let's see if oh look, got a dry riverbed. That's pretty cool. Wonder if this riverbed will get water in it when when it's got a fence. So not getting through that. That's some pretty rough terrain. Oh look, get under the fence. I'm just trying to get over to that sell point without doubling back. I'm somehow all right. That worked pretty good to get out of that area. Alright, so now that we're back on the main road. Ooh. Now we're back on the main road. Let's go up here to the sell point. The one and only sell point on the map. TNR Soil Service. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that city name in Missouri. Alright. It's the only sell point on the map. This is where we're going to basically customize or sell our vehicles. It's basically the vehicle shop. Got some random farm equipment in here. We've got a Western Star semi. It's pretty sad that we won't be able to make use of that. And side, we've got a Ford pickup. Again, this is just a static item. We're not to make use of this vehicle. There we go. So here is our grain dump for our sell point. This is where we're going to bring our milk sell point. And this is where we come to buy our cows if we are going to purchase them and bring them to the farm. Go in here. This is a classic auction house for cattle auctions. Then over here, we've got our hay, straw, and grass sell point right here. Again, with seasons, you're not going to get money for loose material. You're only going to get money for baled material. Here we've got I believe this is fertilizer. And I believe this is possibly liquid fertilizer. And this is possibly seed. I have to admit, I'm not really sure which one's which. Again, this might be liquid fertilizer, and that might be seed over here. Basically, you can get bulk seed and liquid and solid fertilizer from these 3 points. You'll just have to kind of play around and figure out which one's which. And for all intents and purposes, that's the map, guys. It's a basic map from the standpoint that it doesn't have a lot of features and functions, but it is not very basic from the standpoint of the amount of realistic detail that has gone into this thing. A lot of effort has gone into not texturing, but to putting in proper elevations for these fields. They're not just flat little old fields. This is a massive, massive field. Field 25 with all kinds of little, I call them fingers, little inlets throughout the whole field. We've got waterways, drainage ditches, little ponds all over the place. This is a map for someone that wants to actually play Farm Sim and not simply be a farm manager and hire a bunch of workers and basically tell a bunch of other people what to do. This is definitely a map for someone that wants to get down dirty in the weeds, in the grass, and actually farm. Can I get it? Break? It's breaking the fence. Here we've got another bridge. This is the bridge that'll take you north across No Creek, I guess. And we're back up here to the main farm. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I've been holding off on doing a video on this map for quite a while now. This map has had a couple iterations be released. It was found to have a little bit of an issue with the cows and some other issues, but they have been now rectified with version 1.3.0.0. So I'd highly encourage you to go ahead and go to the Facebook page that is linked in the description. Put comments in there. Tell the guy how much you like this map. Give him some encouragement. This is, what I understand, the first map that he's ever built, and he wanted to take and make it as photorealistic as possible to the area and to the farm that he grew up in. Possibly still even works today. Don't know the exact details. Sounds like it's an area of the country that he's very familiar with and probably still lives in, grew up in. Got a pond with a little dock, and it looks like got we got some under the water now, but got some fallen trees kind of sticking up out of the water plane. That's pretty cool. There, pretty neat. All right, guys. So let me know what you think about this map in the comments. If you like the map, let me know. If you like maps like this, let me know, and I'll try to bring more of them to the channel. Till next time, happy farming.